Hello, 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 friends, and happy Wednesday. Hope you're having a great day. Welcome to the Lead Like the CEO show. And it is the day before Thanksgiving. Hopefully, you're having a great day. Hopefully, you have family in, but come on in, say hello. And also let me know where you're joining in from. I am streaming live on LinkedIn, which is my main platform, also on Facebook at Shevvy Mac, and my YouTube channel, Shevvy Mac Lead Like a CEO. So come on in, say hello. I always want to make sure that I'm speaking to someone that you can hear me. But today I am talking about team readiness. Yes, I'm going to bring a little bit of my journey while I was on active duty. So come on in, drop in the comments where you're joining from. And if you can hear me, drop a 1 in the chat, drop hello, say something, because I want to make sure that you can hear me. Okay. Let's make sure. Uh-oh.
Okay, so
Uh-oh. But yes, I see someone live, more likely watching. It might be Facebook, but come on in, say hello. Yes. Yep, someone on Facebook is definitely joining, but welcome everyone. If you're new to my space, I'm Shevvy Mac, the founder and CEO of Mac Leadership Academy. But also, I'm the host of Lead Like the CEO. And this podcast, this show is truly for established, mission driven business owners and organization leaders who are looking to who are ready for proven leadership strategies to elevate their leadership, increase their team performance, and growth while regaining their time. So this podcast is truly for those individuals who are looking to regain their time and elevate their leadership, team performance, and growth in their business and organization. And today I want to talk about team readiness. So a little bit about me. If you're new here, I'm a retired Air Force veteran after 22 plus years of serving the United States Air Force. Okay, so during my journey, I did a lot of different things in the sense of operations, leading team events, hospitality management, training and development, mentorship, facilitating, coaching, a lot of different things, even mortuary as well too. So I bring a lot of expertise and knowledge into what I do when I serve my clients, when I'm presenting a workshop for an organization. So definitely, if you are like, hey, you want to know more about me, reach out. But today on the Lead Like the CEO show, I'm going to talk about team readiness. Okay. So as a business owner, you have people that who are supporting you. If you're in an organization, you have, individuals who are supporting you to execute and meet the objectives and the goal of your business or your organization. And depending on the level where you're at, and if you are an established business owner, you may have, 5 employees, and that could be subcontractors, that could be W-2 employees, or maybe you have 20 employees, 50 employees, 100 employees, or 1,000 employees if you're a big organization. So when it comes to making sure that you have people who can execute on your behalf, because this is what this topic is about today, is really having people in your space, on your team, who can execute on your behalf, because you are only one. Whether you are the CEO of your business or you are the leader in your department within your organization, you are only one. So having people who can navigate things within your area of your job or your organization, you want to be able to release that capacity, that task for those individuals to execute on your behalf without you having to be in that space consistently, because the goal is to get you back your time. And that is what I focus on. Okay. So how ready is your team to execute on your behalf? So as you come in, as you're listening to this, I want you to drop in the chat from 1 to 5, 5 being like, hey, my team is ready. They can execute. They can do X, Y, and Z without me telling them what they need to do. That is 5. If you like, hey, my team is still struggling, they're trying, I'm giving them, directions, but they're still not getting it, then that's your 1. Okay. I'm going to share with you the 3 different levels of team stages that you might be experiencing or you may have within your business or within your organization. And also I'm going to share, my experience when it comes to, leading teams and preparing teams to be ready, to be deployment ready as a unit deployment manager, which I held as a position while on active duty. Okay. So when it comes to team readiness, for me, it's 3 phases. Okay, you have your novice, you have your intermediate, and you have your advanced. And this ties into the ability for you, y'all, my watch is going off. The ability for you to be able to regain your time as the leader, your time as the CEO, because you have people who are ready and can execute on your behalf. So my time in the military, like I said, I spent 22 plus years on active duty. I have deployed to, in combat environments. I've deployed 5 times. I've traveled all around the world. I have trained individuals to be ready to be deployed. When I say deployed, if you're not familiar with that, that means ready to go overseas to execute and support the mission. So one title that I held was the unit deployment manager. And what that entails on, for the military, for the Air Force, was making sure for my unit, myself and my team, we had to make sure that everyone who was mission essential, mission ready, meaning that these individuals identify within the unit to be ready to deploy when things happen, whether it's a war or to support a mission overseas, or it could be stateside. And that was my responsibility as the leader for that unit, for the readiness operations, is to make sure that we have the resources, but also we are able to make sure that every single person who needs to be trained have the training that they needed, the resources that they needed, to make sure that we were meeting the criteria of higher headquarters, to make sure that these members were ready, trained, and ready to deploy at any given moment. And when it comes to your business, my question to you is, when it comes to your team, when it comes to your organization, do you have that blueprint to where your team is trained, developed, and ready to execute on your behalf? Because in the military, we have to be ready, trained, ready to execute on behalf of the United States. So as you think about your business, your organization, really think of what is the level of execution does your people have? Are they at the novice level, the intermediate, or advanced? So I'm going to share more about that. So if you have a team, maybe like, hey, Shevvy, I'm just in the stage of building my team. And dependent on your job, dependent on what you do, dependent on the service that you provide, it depends on, all of that depends on the type of individual that you are bringing in. And it might be new individuals. And this is the early stage. If you think about us joining the military, when we first get to basic training, we are brand new. We have no clue of what's going on. Excuse me. So during that time, during those, when I went through, it was 6 weeks. During those 6 weeks, it was more just like getting acclimated into, okay, this is the process. These are the standards. These are the regulations. This is how we march. This is how we salute. This is how we do X, Y, and Z. We are being trained from the time we got off the plane to the time we got to our destination of where we're going to live for the amount of time. Everything was planned out. So as you look into your business, look into your organization, anyone that's coming in that may be a novice, because even though they may have experience, they're still a novice to your business. They're still a novice to your organization. This person is a beginner to your organization. So again, this is the early stage, but still, you want to make sure that you set your people up for success from day one. And that is giving them the resources, the training that they need to make sure that they can execute even at the lowest level. And that's one thing I love about being in the United States Air Force, is from day one, guess what? You have a responsibility to execute and do a specific job without the TI, which was the technical instructor, come and say, hey, Sergeant, Airman Maxwell, you need to do X, Y, and Z. No, from day one, they assign you a specific role. And guess what? You're doing that consistently, but even in the beginning stage. So as you are building your team, developing your team, even at the lowest level, what training and development and resources are you providing to make sure that they can execute on your behalf at the lowest level. This is all part of making sure that your team readiness is at 100%, not at the bottom. Because sometimes as organizations, as leaders, as business owners, we're focused on, hey, we need to have, experts, which is great. But what about the people who are at the beginning stage? So that is level 1. Level 2 is your intermediate level. This is where the team have gained some experience. They're working together. They better communication, because in the beginning we're still trying to figure out what is the objective, what is the goal, what is the mission of this organization. Same as when I joined the military, trying to figure out, okay, what is the mission? But again, all of that is taught and learned as we progress from the different levels. Ooh, something in my So yes, as you're listening, think like, okay, where is my team on this level, on the 3 levels? Are they still at the novice? Are they at the intermediate level where they are flowing, but there's still like things that are taking up your time? Because in the beginning stage, a lot of your time is being eaten up, because guess what? Your team members are coming to you consistently asking for guidance, asking for direction, asking for resources. And then intermediate, they kind of, they're kind of like, on their own, but they're still coming to you for a lot of things as well too. But then we have the advanced team. This is where you have your expertise. They're like self-sufficient, they're innovative, which is where you want your team to be at. And if you go back to the lower level, the novice level, you want to treat them the same. You want to make sure that they have the resources, whether they're at the novice, intermediate, or advanced. Each level of your team members need to have the proper training, qualification to be able to execute on your behalf. So I'm going to share a story very quickly. So this was 2003. And this was about maybe, because I joined the military 2001. And this was about, 2 years in, going on 2 years in the military. And we had myself and a group of us went to training to make sure that we were ready for deployment. No, this was 2002. We were ready for deployment. And as we were getting ready to close out that year, we already knew, my team and I, like, hey, we're going to be deploying. That means we were going overseas to support the Iraq mission at that time. And we already knew where we were going, which was in the desert. We already knew that. But then last minute, we were detoured to another location in the UK. And we were identified as the Advent team, meaning that we were the team that was going to go ahead before everyone else because of our ability to execute and operate on behalf of the government and get the job done. And what myself and the entire team, and it was, I forgot how many of us, no, actually, it was about less than 10 of us. I can't remember the exact number, but it was around 10 of us, myself, leadership, because at that time I was only like I think a one striper, maybe. So again, still brand new to the military to some degree, but I was part of that team to go ahead of everyone else to make sure that we were able to open up the base, because the base was closed. Our responsibility as a team was to go ahead and open up that base to make sure that it was ready to execute the mission. Meaning that making sure that we had the facility opened up, we making sure that we had the beds ready for people to come in and support. And by the time we were done, we had to do a lot of cleaning, because again, we went in advance and we made sure that everything that we needed to support the people who came after us, we were ready. And we did. And we ended up supporting over 1,000 plus people, because that's when 2003, if you remember, we were at war. So part of making sure that your team is always ready is you as the leader, you as the CEO, making sure that you put the time, the effort, the resource, or bring someone in to make sure that your team readiness is where it needs to be. And that's where I come in to help you as a business owner, as a leader in an organization, to really develop your team so that they can be mission ready for your business, for your organization, and give you back your time to focus on the growth, to meet those objectives within your business and your organization. So when it comes to team readiness, Again, where do you rate yourself as a business and as an organizational leader? Are you like, hey, Shevvy, we're at 5, like my team is self-sufficient, they are on point? If that's the case, amazing, okay? But if you're like, hey, you know what, we're like right in the middle, we can use some additional support because my time is just being spent in this specific area consistently, and I still have X, Y, and Z to do because I am the leader, but I don't have the capacity and the time to do such, then guess what? This is where I help you. This is where I support my clients. Okay? Because, like I said from the beginning, in order to execute, get things done, meet your end goal, you need to make sure not the people at the advanced level are good to go, but your people from the novice, intermediate, and advanced, like all 3 levels, needs to be able to execute on your behalf because they are a representation of you. Just like I was a representation of the United States Air Force, no matter where I went, here in the US or overseas in a deployed environment. But being a UDM, which is a unit deployment manager, was making sure that the people who had to deploy and go support the mission was ready to go and do what he or she had to do. And my job, along with my team, was to make sure that they had the training to be equipped and ready to execute. And that is what you want for your team. You want your team at every single level to be able to be trained, equipped, and ready to operate and execute on your behalf of your company and your organization. Okay. So today I talked about how ready is your team to execute on your behalf. It's all about team readiness because for me, without a team, what happens? Without a team, what happens to your business? Because you can't do it all by yourself. You cannot. And you want a team who is qualified, who can execute with and without you. They don't need you to be there every single turn. They don't need you to make every single decisions. Because guess what? They have the confidence, they have the empowerment, and they have the belief like, hey, I can execute this without, but I can bag brief. I can let him or her know this is what's going on. This is what I plan to do. Any questions? And that's how the military operates. And that's what I had to make sure with my team, like, hey, we need to make sure everyone, because part of that process too, of making sure everyone was mission ready was if we got a request from headquarters to say, hey, we're looking for this specific person with this specific criteria, with this specific training, because we have to report. Well, we had to report, hey, this person is X, Y, and Z. They have this, training, this certification, this SCI, these qualifications, because there may be a specific job for a specific person to meet a specific mission. And same thing may apply for your business, for your organization. There may be a specific person with specific qualification that needs to do a specific job within your company, within your organization. But making sure that the people who are already there are receiving the proper training from day one. Okay. So no matter the level, novice, intermediate, or advanced, develop and train your people from the start because they are executing on your behalf every single time. You don't have the capacity, you don't have the time, then I invite you to reach out to me. If you are an established mission-driven business owner or organizational leader who is ready for proven strategic leadership strategies to help you to elevate your leadership, increase your team, employees' performance and growth so that you can regain your time, then reach out to me, or you can click the link in the description of this podcast/show to book a call so I can get to know you, you can get to know me, and I can learn more about your needs. Okay. All right, y'all. Well, Thanksgiving is tomorrow. Happy Thanksgiving. Also, let me know what you're grateful for. I'm grateful for you all. I'm grateful for family. I'm grateful for this food that I'm about to eat and tear up tomorrow. I am grateful for having a sound mind, okay, which is key because without your mind, what are you? But happy Wednesday, happy Thanksgiving. Have an amazing day. Like I said, reach out if you would love to get support from me. And outside of that, I will see you all on the next Lead Like the CEO show. Have an amazing day.